I thought it appropriate to do one more little talk on joy. One more little expression of what I think joy can be. And it's titled, Joy to You. Joy to all of you. There's a song called, I think it's called, Joy to the World, but not the one we sang on Candlelight. Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishies in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. Do you know that one?
Oh, yeah.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Of course. So joy, what is joy? We talk about joy, we talk about being in joy. One of my favorite candy bars as a child was Almond Joy. Here we say Almond Joy. But when I was a kid, it was Almond Joy. Maybe a different nut. I don't know. I am. So, what is joy? Is it the result of something? Maybe it's what happens when we have everything we think we want. Like maybe a favorite food, designer clothing, driving a certain vehicle, packing for that dream vacation, or having just had it, or sharing time with someone special. That can be joyful. Certainly there is a sense of joy from all of these. But this joy is temporary if we associate it with the things outside ourselves. It's a belief that is fleeting about what joy is, truly, in the spiritual sense. It's temporary. Because you get over this bit of joy and, God, I'm not joyful right now. What's next? You know, what's next? Where's the next pair of shoes? And that's pretty joyful, isn't it? For some people. And I love singing among all the pretty ladies here in our center. But the state of joy coming from an outside condition or any other cause is as uncertain as the weather. It truly is. Real honest to God joy is one which transcends our emotional wellness. It transcends it. And therefore outpictures from where? From within. To be truly, truly, spiritually joyful. Real joy with a capital J, we do that a lot in this teaching. Spiritual joy with a capital J comes from the fishies in the deep blue sea of our consciousness. The deep down beliefs that swim and move and carry us emotionally from place to place, person to idea, experience to experience. To live from a deep sense of knowing of just how good this life is. That's joy. That life is for us. That to me is joy. That my life is for me. I find great joy in that. I feel more alive when I come from that place of joy. Because it carries me there's a little more mileage in that for me. It's more honest, it's more authentic. And when I'm more alive, there is a stronger urge to move into whatever is next when we come from this place of spiritual joy. And it's that next great chapter of our life called good. Because you know what? All the chapters are labeled good. They just have a different story of good under them. Because when we get something good, we want more of that, don't we? I do. The science of mind is a wonderful compilation of good. And the textbook, it has 98 individual references in the glossary for good. 98. And here are two that I picked for today. Right from the textbook. The science of mind is not a special revelation of any individual, because we're all equal. It is rather the culmination of all revelations. We take the good wherever we find it, making it our own insofar as we understand it. Do I understand all of it? No. Some of it? A little bit. But that's a start. It's the good leading to the good. Goes on to say, the realization that good is universal, and that as much good as any individual is able to incorporate in life and use it, it is what constitutes the science of mind and of spirit. I love this teaching, science of mind. I have a very scientific mind. In high school, I used my mind a lot. Didn't know it was leading to this good, but it felt good to me then to do science classes. Those kinds of exploratory things where I had to use my mind. Second, there is a power in the universe that honors our faith in it. There's a law in the universe which extracts the othermost farthing. We all want to feel that the power behind everything is good. We do. As well as creative, an eternal and changeless intelligence in which we live and move and have our being. So when we begin to understand that what we live from and out of and into is changeless for us, we make the changes by thinking into it. We bring the experience to our lives by saying yes or no to different parts of our lives. And there, out of that, comes, ta-da, the next good thing. I like to use cooking. I'm not a real creative cook. I don't pull ingredients out of my mind yet. But Reverend Louis was good about going to anyone's pantry that had anything at all and be able to create something out of what was given in the food way. Now our minds are the same way. Consciousness works the same way. Whatever we can draw out of and incorporate into our life of good comes out as the finished effect. Could be a cobbler. Cobbler. See, I know these things. I know from whence they come. And so every time we think into our lives, something happens. Change moves through. There's some goodness that, when we expect it, comes out of it. Behind everything, I believe, is good. Behind everything, there is good. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. Because sometimes we have an experience in life that says, I don't like this. This cannot be good. This cannot be good. And yet, given enough time, enough patience with our own understanding of it, there is an evolution out of that where the good starts to reveal itself. But we have to look for it. We have to go in search of it because it is there. It is there. To be able to truly say, joy to you, I must have already incorporated the idea of good in my life. And it must come out of that changeless aspect of our eternal nature. Good equals God. It's a contraction of good, God is. And so there is so much good available to us. And what do we do with it as being human? We tell our eternal nature, oh no, no, don't deserve to, whatever. How often do we deny our good, deny our joy? Sometimes it's unconscious. I admit to doing that. Most times it is unconscious, because it's an auto response to something we've learned about deservability. I don't deserve to. I'm not worthy of. How joyful is that? Not very. To me. And the moment we do that, we've done it to ourselves again. We've set this up, this whatever is to show up. We've set this up to be in our life. Now we say, don't beat yourself up when you do something like this. When something shows up in your life. There's someone around who will beat you up all by themselves. People show up to support you in whatever's going on in your life. Now it's the ones who will come in and say, you know, do you really want this? Is this what you want? A real friend will say, hey, if you're looking for good, good will show up for you. So the next time good comes to us, and it will, check in with your old auto responses. I call them their RSVPs, that automatically respond to whatever is happening out of our old belief. And so now is the time. Right now, the end of the year before New Year's, the whole world is behind us, as the world individually is behind us, to clean out whatever's old, to start something new, get some new ideas going. Create ways for the greater good to flow into your life. Because we all deserve to enjoy it. We all deserve to have the very best that we want. Not what anybody else. We all have different levels. Not good, not bad, and not to judge it. But we all want something different. We all want something different. And to be joy and joyful is to honor everyone else's choice. To recognize them as perfectly on course with their choice, with their joy. How many of you take the time to regularly clean out your computer files? 4, 5, 6, I don't know. Nope, not me. So, what happens when you do? They operate a whole lot easier, don't they? They're smoother, they don't shut down, they don't freeze up, they don't go bleep, 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 alert, alert, alert. Our minds are the same way. Our consciousness works the same way. It's not very joyful when we're all bogged down. So with the old ideas being uprooted, brings us more joy to those little fishies in the deep blue sea of our minds. You know, joy is freeing. Joy is freeing. It releases, for me, endorphins. Not dolphins. But
The pod.
I thought of pod and dolphins this morning. See where the mind goes? Whenever I said pod, what did you think? See, we all have a different understanding of POD. Joy initiates the activity of spirit in us in wonderful ways. We do things out of a joyful nature, not out of resentment, not out of having to get something or coerce something or squeeze something out of whatever. It's an easy, natural, open, comfortable, deep breath way of operating. And I know that when I am experiencing a great deal of joy, like I am this morning, I want to run out and share it. I want to hug everybody. I want to hug all of you. I want to really shout, hey, what's working in your life? What is working in your life? Can you pick one thing that's working right now? That's a gift. Focus on that. Focus on that one single thing that's working. And then that leads to something else. Try that. Try that this week. Each time joy shows up and rises up out of me, it's as if I was running a race. Because it gets me moving. And it sets me off like down a racetrack. And with, a smile on my face and arms flailing, legs are running, going. How many on Christmas Day saw, again, the movie Forrest Gump? I know I did. I hadn't seen that since it came out in the movies. It's what, 20? Is it 20 years? I think it's 20 years. It's been out. It's a great story. It's a great story. It came perfectly in time for my lesson because it's the story of a young boy with the learning and the physical challenge who broke free of his conditions. Do you remember the scene where he discovers how to use his braces on both of his legs to propel him forward, and as he began to pick up speed, he forgot, and they broke away? He didn't need them anymore. He didn't need them. He got into this sense of joy, this freedom, and his moniker became what? Run, Forrest, run. Run, Forrest, run. He was not diminished, ever, even though people tried to. Yeah. And he was not limited, even though people tried to do that for him, to him as well. And I remember the look on his face in the movie, when he had that sense of breaking free. And that, to me, is a look of pure joy. Each of us has within us that power to run with that joy and that abandon, if we will let go of those false ideas that keep us trapped. Joy is like a race. It moves us forward in perfect rhythm and space when we, it's an acronym for race, when we realize that joy is who we are. And we align with it. And then we co-create from it something new. And then out of that, with the E, we express as joy. And so like Forrest Gump, there is a training period involved for us, a mental training. Because each of us, I myself, am a little imprisoned from time to time by my own limited thinking. And so each of us individually must undertake a deeper commitment, a much deeper commitment to be in a state of mind and being called joy. Called joy. The author Goethe, is that right? Goethe. Goethe wrote on commitment. And I want to share it with you. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. The moment one definitely commits oneself, providence moves through. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never have otherwise occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream, you can. Begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Begin it now. Begin it now. I thought that perfect for ending one year, moving to the next. So who wants to experience a greater helping of joy in 2014? I do. I do. Keep it on. Remember, joy awaits a greater realization as our lives, and you and I are the keepers. You and I are the keepers of the mental fishes of joy in the deep, deep, deep blue sea of consciousness. So realize, align, co-create, express, race. Realize, align, co-create, express. Decide, commit, begin. Joy to you and in the world, my friends. And so it is.